Welcome back to No Fear Food. Last week was Cinco de Mayo, and then this week it was Allergy Awareness Week. I'm wearing my teal earrings for allergy awareness, and this week I actually was watching a Rachael Ray episode where she prepared a Mexican dinner of Chipotle chicken and black bean burritos with Mexican green rice, what she called Mexican green rice. So I got to thinking that it would be a perfect time for me to try to prepare a Mexican dinner for my son Lorenzo. For the burritos, because Lorenzo's not allergic to gluten, I am going to be using regular flour tortillas. But I also found nice, even organic corn tortillas, so you can use those if you have a gluten issue. Found these really cool plates that we can use too for the final plating. For the fajitas, these are our ingredients. We've got about a clove of garlic chopped up finely. I have peppers sliced thin. I have colored peppers. And also onion. You can use yellow onion or Spanish onion, sliced thin. And we're going to be sauteing them so they're still a little bit crisp. Then we have chicken tenders, some olive oil that we're going to use to saute up the vegetables and the garlic. And we also have another thing that I found at the supermarket. It makes my life easy, where I used to marinate the meat overnight, but now I can use this classic fajita simmer sauce and get that same wonderful flavor that you get from the fajitas. I'm going to be using a grill pan so I get my chicken to have those nice grill lines. I've got this great grill pan for that. And the rest of the vegetables are going to saute together until they get to the right crispness. And then I'll be adding the chicken to the vegetables and the sauce at the same time. I'm not making these today, but I just wanted to show you another product that I found at the supermarket that was a great find, because I got to make tacos for my dairy, etc. allergic son. So there's the Garden of Eden yellow corn taco dinner kit, and they may also have I believe they do have also a blue corn taco variety, and it comes with taco shells, sauce, and seasoning. And before I even found a non-dairy cheese, we would use shredded lettuce and beans and rice and shredded carrots to get that lovely color that you get from tacos, and my son was in heaven. So I just wanted to show you this product because I'm sure you'll enjoy it too. Okay, for the black beans, I'm going to be using a 15-ounce pouch of black beans. I'm going to be using 1 onion chopped finely, 2 cloves of garlic, a jalapeno pepper is what the recipe called for, but I'm going to be using canned jalapeno nacho slices, about the equivalent of 1 jalapeno pepper. Then I'll be using a palmful each of coriander, cumin, and smoked paprika. Rachel's recipe called for some bacon, so you could also, alternatively, instead of the smoked paprika, you can use a bacon slice chopped finely. Another great find at the supermarket is Pacific Brand has a refried black bean in a box here, and this is delicious, and we love this. Okay, here are the ingredients for the Chipotle chicken that is going to be in our Chipotle chicken burritos. Okay, we're going to be using 2 pans for this, one for the chicken and then another one for the sauce. So for the chicken, we're going to be using olive oil, and we'll replace the butter that Rachael calls for in her recipe with this buttery spread from Earth Balance, which is non-dairy. We'll be using a clove of garlic, chopped up 1 onion, and then the chicken from a rotisserie chicken without the bones. And then we'll also be using salt and pepper to taste. Then for the sauce, I'll be using chipotle peppers in adobo sauce, and I'm going to put them in a food processor and process that up. Then we're going to be putting that in a pan, and we're going to be adding, instead of the dairy that Rachael was calling for, which is the Mexican creme fraiche or the sour cream, I'm going to try coconut milk and I think this might give it that nice extra flavor that we're looking for there. Combined equal parts with Daya's mozzarella style shreds, that's non-dairy cheese alternative. And then we'll also be adding honey. And we're going to then combine at the end the chicken and the sauce before we put it into the burrito. Okay, here are the ingredients for our Mexican green rice. We've got rice. You can use any long grain rice. I'm using jasmine today. And instead of the water that you'd need to cook the rice, we're using chicken broth. So the rice, this rice calls for 3 cups of water to 2 cups of rice. So I'm going to be using 3 cups of the chicken broth and 2 cups of rice. Now we're going to get the rice cooking the way it normally does. When that's fully cooked, then I'm going to be adding our green ingredients, which are a bunch of spinach. There'll be a handful or palmful of cilantro chopped finely. You can use that to taste. We will be also adding 1 jalapeno pepper, about a clove of garlic, and as much scallion or green onion you would like to add. Usually it's like 1 or 2 per person. Depending on how large the scallion is as well. So, but just that'll give it a nice, that green onion will give it a nice extra flavor there. And that'll be added, again, once the rice is already pretty much cooked. And then we'll be adding a little bit of lime juice to taste. Now, if you had fresh limes, you can use those. I'm using my Sicilian limes. After the rice was done, I added that green mixture, the spinach and cilantro, garlic, green onions, and cilantro. And I'm going to be adding some lime now. And you can do that to taste. I love it. We have so many things going and everything's safe. We've got the grilled chicken. Look, you get the nice lines on the chicken. And I did 7 minutes on each side in this grill pan at a medium-high heat. And I've also got the peppers and onions almost exactly the way I like them. You can make them as crispy or as soft as you like them. I've just stirred them. And then, so that's for the fajitas. Then we have 2 other dishes going right now. This one is going to be for our black beans. So we've got the onions, the garlic, the jalapeno, and our spices. And I've mixed them. I used a palmful of each of the spices that I'm using. The cumin, the coriander, and the smoked paprika. And then in the last dish there, that's going to be our chicken. And for the chicken so far, what we have going is the earth balanced butter we spread, the olive oil, garlic, and onions. So the last thing I had to do was the sauce. So I've added a cup of the coconut milk, a cup of the Daya mozzarella shreds. Then I also added a 7-ounce can of the Chipotle peppers in adobo sauce that I pulsed in the food processor. And then I also added the splash of honey. And now I've mixed that up, and as soon as that simmers a bit more, I'm going to add it to the chicken dish, which is I've added my rotisserie chicken in with the earth balanced butter and the olive oil mixed with the onions and the garlic. And so that's going to add to there. Here in the back you see going our black beans, which are just simmering up. We're just going to get rid of some more of that water that we had added. And the fajitas are ready to go. They've got the sauce. They're nice and hot just before I serve them. I'm going to just heat them up just a little bit more. And I'm going to get going on the tortillas now. Okay. The last thing that's different from the way that Rachael Ray made these burritos, but she said that you can toast the tortillas directly on a gas flame. Now I am using gas, but I wouldn't put it directly on the burner because I worry about allergies and what I might have missed on the burner. So I'm going to use a clean pan. The second way she said to do it, which was I have it on high, and I'm just going to let it brown up a little, and then I'm going to throw it onto my plate. So I'm going to just warm up my tortillas that way. My beans are already done, as you can see. It's absorbed most of the liquid, so these look great. And once my sauce thickened, I added it to the chicken, and so that looks awesome as well. So I'm just heating these up and turn it over. You see how they're crisping up? Maybe just wait until they crisp up a little, and you see these little brown spots, and then they're warm enough to put on my plate that's waiting, because we're going to make those burritos. So you can hear I threw the fajita meat in just to heat it up again in my pan. You can hear it sizzling. And then if I'm making fajitas, I would just take that nicely toasted tortilla and make a fajita out of that. Okay, so we're going to make our burrito now. So we're going to first put the rice, put some of our nice Mexican green rice. Then we're going to be adding some of our delicious beans. Whoa, I made a mess, but adding some of our delicious beans. Then we'll be adding some of our adobo, the Chipotle chicken with adobo. Looks great. Then we're just going to wrap these up. And I'm going to squish them down a little to set. And these are great. So there you've got your, we've got our delicious Chipotle chicken burritos with our black beans and our Mexican green rice. Okay, for the fajitas, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're going to make some real simple fajitas today. I've sliced some onions and some colored peppers. You slice them.
I'm not.
Okay, on this theme.
What?
On this theme. Here are the ingredients. I didn't like the way I started that.